Mellencamp is the daughter of rocker John Mellencamp, but you might know her more from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Teddi also hosts a very successful podcast, which we're going to get to in a minute first. But if you follow Teddi, you know there are no secrets. Thank you for joining us this morning to talk about something that's been a part of your life now in the recent past, and
yeah, for about a year.
Very open with it. Melanoma,
which to be honest, I never really thought skin cancer was a big deal.
Yeah.
Like in your mind, you're like, oh, you know, people had this, or they had this removed, or something was biopsied. But then all of a sudden, when something directly affects you, you start doing your research on it, and then you learn. And now I think this is lucky number 13.
13 melanomas.
Yeah.
And in fact, you're actually going in for surgery right after this.
Yes, it's right down the street, so I'm going to Uber right over there.
Oh, my goodness. And you've kind of documented this through your Instagram, which is how I took notice of it. So for anybody who isn't up to speed with it, can you kind of talk about where it began when you first noticed the first melanoma?
So I always had like a patch that was kind of white on the back of my shoulder.
Yeah.
From when I was a kid, I assumed it was a birthmark. And then as I got older, it started getting these little dots that looked almost like white dots.
Right.
I always assumed that melanoma always meant dark and a mole's change.
Yeah.
But apparently it can present itself in any way. And then one day I was on a run with Kyle Richards, and she goes, Teddi, those spots on your back look different to me.
Yeah.
Please go get it checked. And I have like a big, like anyone that knows me knows I have a lot of anxiety, but I have a lot of anxiety surrounding doctor's appointments. So I was like, no, I'll go. And she's like, no, we're actually going to go right
soon.
now.
Yeah.
Drove me in, and the first one was actually stage 2. I was sitting actually at the dermatologist's office. She goes, like, I can either just biopsy it, or I can just take it out. I'm like, take it out. Assumed that would be it.
Yeah. And then they found more, because you kept on going back to the doctor for more checkups.
Yeah, for every 3 months I go back in for a checkup. And this most recent one, as they biopsied it, they're like, listen, we don't even think we need to biopsy this one. And then
just visually, they just knew.
Just visually, they're like, okay, here we go. And so now today what'll happen is they'll remove it, and then they will biopsy every other little spot in that area. So already my shoulder is completely, you know, it's cut out.
We've seen it. We've seen the scars. And I have to say, I really do admire how vulnerable and open you've been and transparent. It's helped a lot of people. It's certainly helped me. I mean, after seeing those photos, I went and got myself checked. They took out 5 moles. Have you been surprised by the number of people you've impacted through telling your story?
I think the biggest takeaway for me is how when you're being vulnerable, how much not only it helps other people, it also helps you.
Yeah.
Because after the first one, I didn't talk about it much, and I remember feeling really alone and sad and scared. And then the second you start sharing, you realize how many other people have been affected by it, or it starts to give you that like fire in you when somebody says, like, I went and got checked. And just knowing that other people, I'm like, you know what, I may have done some things in my life that aren't the best, but knowing that somebody went to go get checked made me feel so much better.
Of course.
Or that somebody caught something earlier than they would have. So it's definitely one of those things, like you just have to stay adamant about getting those appointments.
Right. And keeping, you have to like keep checking yourself, especially if they find one, they might find more. So you've been like an excellent spokesperson for all this. You really have. Unintentionally, I know, but
I mean, it's been really cool, because then you know, Cure Melanoma reached out to me, and I'm their spokesperson this year, and we've been able to raise a lot of money for melanoma awareness and skin cancer awareness, and I just think the more that people are aware of the dangers of, like, even for our kids.
Yeah.
Like when I was younger, I honestly would like smother myself in like baby oil and iodine to try to get tanner.
Right.
Like I would go in tanning beds and put on stickers so you could. And I think it starts early. It was the damage I did as a child that probably led me to where I am now.
Yeah. But well, hey, I'm glad to see that you're happy and you're healthy. And I want to plug your podcast before we go. 2 Teas in a Pod.
2 Teas in a Pod.
That's right.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. I do it with Tamara Judge. Tamara's on vacation right now, so I have filling guest Emily Simpson, who's also on Real Housewives of Orange County. And, I mean, it's hilarious. We're hot messes.
I know, never a dull moment with the two of you.
Of course.
Thank you for coming on and sharing your story as always. It's good to see your face.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll be right back.